To the presentation, I would like to introduce Robert. Robert, would you kick us off and introduce the other presenters and go from there?
Yes, today is Technology for All. We're going to lead with Jennifer Rosinski, who's the Director of Accessibility. We got Deborah Hopper here, Deb Corney, and myself, Robert Bowers. I'm going to pass it off to Jen as I put up the slides.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so very much for coming to join us today. We have lots of new technologies that we can't wait to share with everyone. I just want to remind everybody that Deb Carney is our faculty liaison for accessibility, and she will have office hours available. If you don't see her link on her page, we also, under our staff link on the accessibility page, have a link for you to get to her as well. Next slide, please. So one of the things is a lot of people don't know our mission statement, so I do want to share that with everyone today. And our mission is to assist in securing access to equal education at all Bucks County Community College for students with documented disabilities, to encourage an environment of diversity through awareness and education, and foster campus-wide ownership of accessibility. Essentially, we want to make sure that we have a culture of accessibility and that we're able to provide to students, even those who don't have documented disabilities, equal access to education and support for learning throughout our campus community. Next slide, please. So I'm going to turn it over to Debbie Holper, who's our Assistant Director, and she's going to talk to you about neurodiversity in the college environment.
Thanks, Jennifer. Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. Today, I'd like to talk to you about two rock stars in the neurodiverse community, and that would be John Elder Robison and Judy Singer. And I'm talking to you about them kind of in the order that they appear in the historical documentation of the movement of neurodiversity. Judy Singer being the person who coined this term in 1998. So it's an interesting development, but I'd like to get started with some rock stars and a personal story from my boss and myself. So could you go to the next slide? So Jen and I were very excited to go to an autism conference, and I was excited to go because I wanted to see John Elder Robison, who was a very important person in the community for autism. And he was speaking that day. And Jennifer was like, okay, Deb, okay, Deb. And when she saw him, she's like, he's my rock star, because he actually was the person that invented the flaming guitar for Kiss. So I just wanted you to see our rock star and the groupies that took pictures with him that day. So one of the things that I want you to realize that's really important is that both John Elder Robinson, you can move to the next slide, and Judy Singer, both were on the spectrum. And this is a very important, important detail, because the neurodiversity movement was conceptualized in this community. Judy Singer was from Australia, and she was a sociologist. She wrote a paper, and actually you can purchase that paper now. The paper was called, or rather her thesis was called Odd People Out. You can purchase it on Amazon. It's called Neurodiversity by Judy Singer, and you can read the paper there. And it was at that time where she, influenced by other social movements during the time, believed that the neurodivergent individuals needed their own movement. So she believed that they needed the movement to rise up from the oppression of the psychological labeling that was happening during that time, and also the Rain Man profile, which came out, that movie came out during that time. This movement, conceived on the internet through autistic support groups, which John was a part of, supported the self-advocacy and promoted the dignity of these individuals through the strengths of the neurodiversity community, and promoted these strengths as that to provide to their community. So Singer was really a visionary who recognized the need for a name for this impactful movement, and so neurodiversity was born. In John Elder Robison's article, what is neurodiversity? He summarizes the concept in the definition, and it quotes two. To me, neurodiversity is the idea that neurological differences like autism and ADHD are the result of normal, natural variations in the human genome. This represents a new and fundamentally different way of looking at conditions that were traditionally pathologized. They are not the result of disease or injury. So because of this new way of looking at things, we start to look at to see, well, what is the data on neurodiversity within college communities? And one of the things that keeps coming up is that, well, people really have to report, or they have to, be able to say that they need help or they have this diagnosis, and that doesn't always happen. Students don't always want to do that. So what they have now is 11% of the enrolled undergraduates, the data shows, up to 30% could be in the neurodiversity group. But undergraduates, 19% of all enrolled undergraduates that do report have a disability. So these numbers are really not solid data. So I want you to go with me and listen to a definition from the Oxford Dictionary, which is a bit broader than even what the neurodiversity movement speaks of as to neurodiversity. It's the range of differences in individual brain function and behavioral traits regarded as part of the normal variation in the human population. So I myself can identify with that. And if you can identify it, put your thumbs up, because I think that we don't know who and all have the differences. Only that person knows. So no matter what your ability is, we all need support at some time. And those supports can come through tools that provide us access so we can complete a task, like a curb cut, a ramp, closed captioning, audiobook, immersive reader. The tech tools that are going to be presented today provide access so all students can bring their success to college and their strengths through collaboration in their diverse communities. And now I'd like to pass the baton to one of our gurus in accessibility technology, Robert Bowers.
Hello, everyone. My name is Robert Bowers. I am the Accessibility Software Test Analysis Adaptive Technology Specialist. And today I'm going to go over some of the technology that we have in the Accessibility Office. So bear with me here while I'm going to share my screen. I got to make sure I share my sound as I do this. There we go. Optimize clip. Let's share the sound. And I'm going to share my screen here. All right. So on the adaptive resources, we have adaptive workstations within all the campuses. We're going to go over these things today. Some is Zoom accessibility, which Deb is going to touch on a little bit later after me. The accessibility features built on campus with the operating systems and installed software that's on the adaptive workstations. We're going to go through some other adaptive technology and some outside assistive applications that you can install on your phone. All right, so through our office, there is basic training with me, the adaptive technology specialist, for initial training and continued support. So this applies to faculty, staff, and students as well. So we encourage the students to seek additional training through resources such as OVR, Office of Vocational Rehabilitation, or the BBVS, Bureau of Blindness and Visual Services as applicable. And the adaptive workstations that we have on, if you haven't seen them, they're actually sitting on the Newtown campus in the Student Services office. We have one in the Open Access Lab at Student Services, right on the left-hand side of Student Services. We have one in the Accessibility office. Also, we have one on the Academic Success Center, Testing Center, and in the quiet room for testing purposes. And selective workstations can be made available as needed on each campus. Now, these desktops include adjustable height, adaptive software, and a desktop video magnifier, which we'll go over today. These workstations are full use by students with any disability that affects one ability to use a computer without any modifications. Now, just so everyone is aware, Zoom is accessible. It is compliant with WCAG 2.1 and Section 508 standards and the 301 by 409 accessibility requirements. And it has the built-in accessibility functions. As you can see right now, we have the transcript right up here. If you want to access it, it is available. And all those sessions are recorded so people can watch them at their leisure. It's also keyboard friendly with shortcuts. So if you go to their website, it has a list of many shortcut keys that people can use. Like if someone was blind and they need a quick way of moving to something, they can find out those quick commands at which we would provide the student, or anybody that is in need of them, we will surely let them know where it is and how to get to it. It also supports screen readers, so people that are using screen readers can use Zoom as well. And it provides automatic transcripts and third-party captioning, which is a huge plus, especially when we're all working remote. Now, with the accessibility features on the campus, the operating system and the desktop kind of looks like this in the top right-hand corner of this image. They're all in one desktop. They have enlarged keyboards for the people that are low vision or just need to see it. Now, I don't know if anybody really noticed this, but on your keyboards, there's usually two little indications on the F and J key. That usually helps blind people figure out where they're positioning their hands so they can use the keyboard. Now, that is usually trained by the OVR, or the BBVS usually goes through them with them, or the trainer that they have at the time. And if they didn't know, we would surely let them know as well. Also on the adaptive workstations that we have here is the Clearview C Full HD Speech. It's a video magnifier that has continuous magnification for 1.5 times to 75 times. It's a 24-inch full color thin film translator, or the TFT, widescreen display, adjustable setup and document viewing modes with integrated lighting for even illumination and elimination of reflections when reading glossy documents. So this thing will actually read to you, zoom in, you can change the colors. It's very friendly, very usable. If anybody needed help with it, please let us know, and we'll surely make sure it happens. Now, some of the software that's installed on these adaptive workstations and throughout the campus, to name a few, we have JAWS, Zoom Text, and ReadWrite installed on all the computers on campus. Now, the JAWS and Zoom Text are kind of hidden under the start menu, so the students or anybody using it would have to go to it, and we can help them find it if needed. Now, dragging Naturally Speaking and Sonoset is only installed on the adaptive workstations on the 3 campuses, and students have the ability to use them. So let's just go through some of these things if you didn't know what they are. JAWS is only for Windows, and it's a screen reading software that is used for blind people, and it's made by Freedom Scientific. Now, all these links in this PowerPoint are clickable, and it goes right to those training guides, and for more information, you could surely do so. Zoom Text is a screen magnification and limited screen reading software for users who have low vision. Now, that would give the user to zoom in onto the screen, and it also would read it to them as well. So that is very helpful in those cases. Now, Dragon Naturally Speaking is a software that allows you to speak into the computer, and you practically don't even have to use your hands at all. It helps you navigate it. You can do dictations with it. It is a very fun toy to play with, in my say. And it's a little learning curve as well, but we are more than willing to help. And there's interactive tutorials, as you can see on this link here, to getting started with it. It's pretty straightforward, pretty easy to use on the interactive tutorial side. Now, Read and Write is, like I said, for all students, can use it on the computers on campus, and it's for reading support software. Basically, it's another screen reader like Zoom Text, but this one allows the students and anybody using it to help read PDF documents, to write things. It pretty much would speak as you're typing it. So it is a good function that we have. We have it installed on Windows and Macs operating systems. Now, Sonoset is a note-taking software that allows students to record lectures. If you haven't heard of it before, It is software that we provide to students with disabilities who would be able to use it to record in class. They can do it on Zoom, and they also can do it in person as well. So that will come along with accommodations. The other adaptive technology that we recently accommodated is the Ube Duo, which is a communicating device with speech. So this thing is really cool because it's wireless communication devices that don't use Wi-Fi, use 2.4 gigahertz of radio waves that enables people to communicate. So basically, I'm going to show a video clip right after this to show you what it's about. All right, and the next one we have on the list is switch access control. These things enable full access to a computer with one single button. It's really cool. And I'll show a little clip on that one as well. The next one is portable CCTVs, which is basically a portable magnification tool for low vision. And it increases the size, and it's almost like a monitor is what it kind of looks like. And it has a camera on top of it, and I'll show you what it looks like very soon. So it's a pretty cool device. A lot of stuff is very fun to play with. We have the electronic stethoscopes with this amplified stethoscopes for students who are hard of hearing, so they can use it if they can't see it. The next one we have on our list is the Braille embossing printer, which is printing for the Braille. Raised print with color ink characters that resides within the Braille. And the use of these accessibility features on campus and operating systems include on-screen keyboards, magnification programs, word prediction programs, and more. So I'm gonna minimize this to see if I can get this up here. Okay. So just to get an idea of some of these things and how it works, right here I have a video on the switch. So we're gonna check it out.
Hi, I'm Jim from AbleNet, and today I'm going to show you how to get started with the Hitch 2. To get started, you will need to connect the Hitch 2 to a USB-A port on your computer. Once connected, one LED light on the Hitch 2 will turn on. Activate the Select Mode button to select the desired row of functions. Attach one or multiple switches with a switch jack or a joystick with a female D-sub 9-pin connector to the Hitch 2. Your Hitch 2 is now ready to use. For more great resources,
that was pretty cool. I really love playing with that thing, especially when I can navigate the whole computer with one single click. It works really good with Macs. On Windows computer, it's a little bit more of a configuration, but it can be done. So that's one of the options that we have for the students. Now let's go to the portable magnifier. So this is kind of what it looks like to give you an idea. It's nothing too crazy, but basically a student we would provide it for a student if needed through their accommodations, where it basically magnifies anything from a book. It has different colors, styles. It also has like almost different way of reading functions for the student in particular to use. Okay. Now this one is the electronic stethoscopes that we do have on campus. So here's a nice little clip on how that thing works.
This video covers the basic techniques for optimizing sound quality when using the Littman Model 3100 and 3200 stethoscopes. The sound sensor is located in the very center of the chest piece. Make sure that your point of contact with the patient is centered directly under the chest piece. You'll get the best results by using light, steady, and consistent contact with your patient. Minimize movement of the chest piece on the patient to reduce frictional noise. One last tip. Start your auscultation exam at a low amplification level and adjust it upward for difficult to hear sounds. By using the higher amplification levels only when necessary, you'll reduce distracting noises during the exam.
One of the many benefits of having tools in the accessibility office is seeing how they work. The next one is going to be the Spot Dot, which is the Braille printer that we just accommodated. So we're going to check that guy out, see how that works.
View Plus Technologies was founded on the principle that information should be made available to everyone. For over 18 years, we have lived by that principle by providing truly innovative technologies that continues to change countless lives. Our patented technology allows us to print Braille and emboss tactile graphics at an industry-leading 8-dot heights, 20 dots per inch, and full color. Other brand embossers leave teachers, classmates, and parents guessing what information the graphic holds. But with ours, it's a roaring volcano with clearly defined elements that provide invaluable information, enhancing the connection between students and teachers. With the VP Spot Dot, all of this is possible. We don't just make embossers, we make information accessible, and we do it better than anyone else in the world. That's why View Plus has been a market leader for over 18 years, and why the VP Spot Dot has proven to be the preferred choice for Braille, color ink, and tactile graphics among parents, businesses, and teachers. The VP Spot Dot is frequently bought together with our Iveo Audio tactile graphics solution. We invite you to contact us for sample graphics or to start a conversation.
Really do love playing with that thing. Another one of the tools to play with. So let's see what else we have here. We got this thing's in the way. There we go. All right. Let's see. So it's just a few of the things that we have on that. So as we go through, here's the Ube Duo. I'm going to show you what that thing is. We recently just got this thing, and we will be giving it to offices for student interactions. For instance, like in the student services, if someone comes up to us and they're deaf of hard of hearing and we don't have a person to help them translate for us, we get this device out, and all they have to do is type into it instantly. The person at the desk can communicate with them without a translator. Check this out.
Hello, my name is Jason Curry, CEO of SCOM. I'm very excited with the Ube Duo 3. I'm excited to share with you the Ube Duo 3 communication device. It is transforming how deaf, hard of hearing, and hearing interact with each other face-to-face in different situations. With the Ube Duo 3 in my saddlebag, I'm good to go on any road. Talk to the bike shop owner about a tune-up before I go. Looking forward to talking with other riders I meet on the road. With the Ube Duo 3, talking to the healthcare provider is immediate and clear, whether a routine checkup or a medical emergency. The doctor likes the immediate communication as much as I do. The Ube Duo 3 maximizes the quality of patient care. Knowing exactly what my medication will do is critical for my health. The Ube Duo 3 increases interaction between patient and pharmacist and boosts patient satisfaction. You can carry the Ube Duo 3 anywhere, anytime. The Ube Duo 3 empowers communication equality between deaf, hard of hearing, and hearing. The Ube Duo 3 eliminates communication barriers. Ordering my favorite coffee has never been easier. I can use the Ube Duo 3 to tell the barista about my new relationship while my latte is being made, without being overheard by everyone else in the coffee shop. The Ube Duo 3 is amazing. Wow! Get one for yourself. Contact us.
A beautiful technology that is. So helpful in many cases. So glad we have it. All right, let me go to the next slide here. So the software technology resources page is going to pretty much consist of technology that you can install on your phone. Most of it's going to be free to low cost. And the Bucks County Information Technology Services Department has not reviewed any of these things. So you're going to have to check them out at your own leisure. And the user assumes responsibility for installing and maintaining them. But these products are reviewed by myself and the team so we can provide these things, because there's a lot of resources out there. We want to make sure everyone has the ability to communicate with each other without any barriers in the way. So we decided to create this page that has a plethora. Now I'm only going to pull one from each topic, but I do recommend highly to check out this page. I keep these apps updated, so if they come off the market, I usually take it off and add a new one. But a lot of them are very helpful, and we encourage college students and faculty to explore these and other resources that may help in their journey. Now, before we go into that, I just want to make sure everyone is aware that every device that you have comes with built-in accessibility features. The Windows, for instance, has shortcut commands. It already has a screen reader. If anybody laid their hands on Windows 11, there's a lot of cool accessibility features built on that as well. The Mac, super accessible, that has a lot of accessibility features built into it. For instance, the Dragon software, we don't have installed on it because the Mac already has that feature. You can tell the Mac what to do, and it does it for you. Very cool. Even Chromebooks have accessibility features. And all these things are hyperlinks, so if you do happen to get your hands on these slides, you click on those things, it will go right to those features that can show you. The cell phones, the smartphones that we all have today, have built-in accessibility features. The iPhone and Android have a list of accessibility features that you can add on within the settings of your device. Also, Microsoft Edge has a really cool feature that most people probably might not know or do know. It actually reads things to you with built into it on the top right-hand corner of the settings. You can surely check that out if you have the time. Chromebooks has tons of apps, as well as Firefox, that enables the greater accessibility for people to navigate the web. Very, very cool. So as we go down the list, these are just outside applications that I have reviewed and checked out. So a few of them, in a sense, is a screen reader. One of them is called NVDA Access, and it's free for Windows. So anybody can install them if they have a Windows computer, and basically it's going to read everything on the screen. This is used for blind individuals that probably can't afford JAWS, because JAWS, there is a cost to it, as well as other software. The other one I have on this list for reading is Natural Reader. It's free to paid features that provides text-to-speech within Windows and Mac operating systems. It's another free thing. Basically, I think gives you like 30 or 90 days for free, and then you sign up and you can continue using it. OneNote is a great writing resource. It's a digital notebook with a plethora of tools. It also works with some of the features in OneNote or built in within Canvas. And we can see that on a later time and date. And you can also ask Deb Carney, and she'll be more than happy to view that with you if you need it. We have this one cool tool on this list. It's called Mimics 3D Sign Language Translator. Basically, it's a free mobile application for Apple and Android devices that can interpret spoken and written English into sign language. It's a really cool tool. And the next one, we have a few more on the list. As it continues, we have another app that on that list. It's called Google Maps Explorer. Basically, it helps a blind person see. It dictates to them where they're going and how to get to those particular areas they want to do. Google is a great maps. I'm sure most of us have used Google Maps. Well, guess what? Blind people can use it too. And it is a free app to download with that. Another thing is captioning. Well, if you have a presentation for PowerPoint and you're actually doing a class in person, you can have PowerPoint use the translator in there, and it's like translate into different languages. We went over that on a couple other Tech Day webinars, and we can surely go more into that if you would like to see it. I can provide you links. Like I said, there's a link here for it as well. But it does live closed captioning right then and there as you're presenting it. And the students can download or just click on the QR code or scan it with their phones, and they can translate it into their language. So it does support a good chunk of language, and they keep adding more languages to it. I think there obviously is more than 50 languages already on their database, and they just keep adding it. Microsoft is a great advocate for accessibility, so definitely check that out. The other one is speech and text. The Microsoft Office 365 Word, which we all have access to, has accounts that you can transcribe speech to text transcripts. What's cool about that is, let's say you have a recording within your Zoom session and you need to have the transcript. You didn't get the transcript through one of the services that we have. you can easily log into your Office 365 account on your browser, go into your Word, and you can actually use the transcribe and dictate button. If you do the transcribe button, it will ask you where this file's at. It will grab that file, and within a couple minutes, it will transcribe that. So I'm going to see if I can pull it up on the website here. I believe I have it right here somewhere. Some keys here. Where's that? There we go. All right. So as you can see, when you go to the home in the top right-hand corner of your Word, there's a little dictate button. I don't know if anybody played with it, but I do recommend checking it out. There's a button for dictating. So it'll ask you if you can use your mic, and it will start dictating what you say, and it will start recording. Change it into a WAV, MP3, MP4, or M4A or MP3 file, and it will save it instantly, because guess what? It auto saves these things, which is great if something does crash. You gotta love that. And the next one is transcribe. So you can actually use it to hit the transcribe button. All you have to do is upload that audio file, like I was saying, and it will start transcribing it. The good thing about it is it will do it the best it can. So obviously audio files are not going to be the best audio file in the world. So once you upload it, it's going to start giving you timestamps, and you can edit who's speaking at what time before you import it into the Word document. So it gives you full customization, and it allows you to play with it to make it the way you want it to be. Very cool tools to use. I definitely highly recommend checking some of that stuff out. Let's see what else we got here. Now, some other tools outside of the list here is Microsoft To-Do list, task reminders, free planner for Windows OS systems. You also can put it on your phone. Basically, it's just another way of checking off things that you need to do. So, for instance, you can do your daily planner, or just connecting to other apps across devices. If you have Office 365, or you use Cortana or Teams, or any one of those things, you can sync it to, so you can have a list of everything you do. So anywhere you are, on a phone, tablet, or a laptop, or even a home PC, you can have that list of things to do with you. So you don't have to write it down on a piece of paper and accidentally lose it. There's also options to change the color. So if you need to adjust it with accessibility, it has features in it because it's a Microsoft special. So it's a really, really cool tool, that and many others out there. I'm going to go back one more slide, click too fast. The math tool is a really cool thing. It's basically a Microsoft math solver. So this is good for students in particular that really need to do some studying and find out how to do some of these problems if they couldn't figure it out. This thing is really cool. It pretty much solves, it gives them practice problems. This thing is, guess what, is incorporated in the Microsoft OneNote. When you do the Microsoft math solver on that, this is pretty much the base function of it. So they can go, anybody can go directly right to this website and do all their calculations, and it will help them solve it by step-by-step explanations. And you can also, it gives you the ability to graph out the math problems, and it encourages to practice, because that's going to make things work here. And
Have
really
2 more
cool.
minutes.
Okay, 2 more minutes. I gotta get moving. I think that might be end of it. The last one before I sign off to pass on the baton is Google Drive Converter, which is a free tool that converts PDF files and photos to a text format. Now let's go over this real quick before I pass it on. Google Converter, it really cool. As long as you have a Google Drive or Google account, you can sign into it, put any, let's say you have a paper, that PDF document that is not converted into a text format for a blind person to use, because they have to use a screen reader so they can read everything. This thing, you put it in there, within a couple minutes, it will convert that image, that PDF document, into a document a blind person can use. You do have to do tweaks to it. You do have to edit it, but it speeds up the process tremendously. Instead of spending days on end converting it, it takes a couple hours. So that is very, very cool tool. I do highly recommend checking it out. Now on to the Netspeaker. We have Deb Carney with Bucks captioning and transcript resources. So I will leave my slide out. Deb, you let me know when you want to switch it.
Okay, great, thanks. Now, in the past Tech Day session, I showed everybody how to create closed captions in using YouTube, but we've really come a long way at Bucks, and now we have a few different options for caption and transcript resources. Rob mentioned, and you can see here in this presentation, that Zoom now offers live captioning. For the videos that you want to create in advance to show your class, you can save or record your video and save it to the Zoom cloud, and Zoom will provide auto transcription that can be displayed by students as closed captions. So Rob, I just want to share my screen now. Okay, so you can access and edit the captions that Zoom creates for your self-created videos. You just need to log into your Zoom web portal, and from the navigation menu, click Recordings. And then you will just need to find the meeting that you want to access the captions for. And just to be aware, Zoom, there is some delay. So if you just created a video, you might not see the recording yet, but Zoom will send you an email when your recording is available. They will also send you an email when the auto transcripts are available. So you just go ahead and click on the recording that you want to access, and then click the play button. And over here on the right-hand side, you will see the audio transcript. So you just hover on the phrase that you want to edit, click the pencil icon, and you can go ahead and make your changes. Once you've made all the changes in a caption box, you can click the check mark, scroll down and go through and make all the changes that are needed, and it will automatically be saved. And then when you share the video with your class, you will have edited closed captions for your students. Can you put up the PowerPoint again? Another tool that we have at Bucks to create videos with closed captions that are automatically provided is VidGrid. And VidGrid can be accessed through your Canvas space. Jackie Berger has an excellent LibGuide that's available through our library research guides that will tell you more about this tool. Also, for any audio files you create, we have something called Otter AI, and this creates transcripts for your audio files. And all of these tools, I am happy to help and assist you with. I will have office hours this upcoming semester on Wednesdays from 10:30 to 1:30, and I also am available to meet via appointment, so I'm happy to go over any of these tools with you. And I'm now going to turn it over to Jen.
All right. So everybody, we want to make sure that all these tools are not overwhelming you. These tools are for students, yourself, family members, whoever, to use. So the free ones that Rob went over are free to anybody. We have them there in case somebody needs help. Students that are approved for accommodations, we will definitely get them set up with the specific software like Sonocent, and we will make sure that they need training. If you have a student that's struggling and needs help, let us know, and we're always happy to assist. Rob and Deb are always available via appointment. And if you want to bounce ideas off with regards to curriculum and how to apply it, I am also always available. The one thing to remember is that we want to make sure students have as much access as possible. There is a rise in students that are no longer neuroatypical. So we want to make sure with the neurodiversity that we're seeing and the different learning styles that we're seeing, students can access information in the way that works best for them. And these tools provide wraparound support, not just greater access, but additional ways to approach the information that you're presenting. And again, Deb, Rob, myself, Deb Hoper are always happy to make appointments and help anybody out with anything that they need. So for our department today, we want to thank you for coming and for your attention. And we want everyone to enjoy their snow day today. And that's it for our presentation. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.